Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this meeting of the Orange County School Board. I want to thank everybody for coming down. It is summer, so it's great when we get all these educators down here because this is your time off, so we really appreciate it. We are going to start with a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. So before we do stand, though, I would like to ask everybody here to keep in their thoughts and their prayers during the moment of silence a dear colleague of sorts that we lost, an Orange County government colleague, which is why I say a colleague of sorts, because he might as well have been one of ours, one of our OCPS folks. It's a beloved staff member, Ron Plummer, and Ron worked very closely with our safety and our emergency management staff, and most recently during Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. And Ron joined Orange County government in 2002, and in 2015 he was named Manager of Emergency Management, and that's a position because we serve as a primary shelter source for Orange County. Orange County Public Schools does, and our facilities. He's somebody that we worked very closely with, and it was an unexpected passing, so please keep Mr. Plummer in your thoughts and your prayers. So with that, let me ask you to please stand and join us in that moment of silence.
Nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, tonight we get to recognize three outstanding individuals, and I love tonight's recognition because we don't get to recognize, in my mind, and I think the mind of my fellow board members enough, our outstanding principals are oftentimes our unsung heroes. We recognize teachers deservedly so all the time. We recognize outstanding students, as we should, all the time. But rarely do we get to recognize the principals. And tonight we have three very special principals with us. The first that I'm going to ask to stand is Colonial High Principal Jose Martinez. Mr. Martinez, please stand. And I'd also like to ask, and please remain standing, Principal Martinez, also Master Principal Margaret Talbert Irving from Orange Center and Rolling Hill Elementary. And also I'd like to ask Catalina Elementary School Principal Seth Dobb, please stand as well. I'm going to brag on these three outstanding principals for a moment. I'm sure my fellow colleagues on the board will want to chime in as well. Mr. Martinez was selected by the Florida College Access Network as the Community Resilience Unsung Hero Awardee for his leadership at Colonial High School. After Hurricane Irma and Maria, Colonial High School enrolled more than 200 of the 3,000 students displaced by these storms, and to receive 200 students shortly after the start of schools, as the educators in this room know, that's no small task. I mean, that's a substantial number of students all of a sudden flooding into your schools and causing a great deal of disruption, but he handled it with the grace and that he always shows. Mr. Martinez did an incredible job assisting those displaced students as they registered. He provided them with school tours. He personally introduced them to teachers and staff, and he helped develop the connection for every student with their new school and their families, a connection as well. It was evident every day how much Principal Martinez truly cared about their success. And I think I speak for everybody in the Colonial High School family. He exhibits that caring and love for all of his students at Colonial High School. He received his award during the organization's annual summit last month here in Orlando, and I have to say parenthetically, he also has a great sense of humor. I attended Colonial High School's graduation this year, and I know a judge named Jose Rodriguez, who I'd been in touch with that day, and at the end of my remarks, I said, "Congratulations, Principal Rodriguez, on these outstanding graduates." And I turned around, I thought I'd done a wonderful job, and I saw Daryl Flynn going, "Martinez, Martinez." And I'm like, "What? I did that good a job?" She goes, "No, it's Martinez." So Principal, he had a good chuckle out of it, or at least he was very kind to me. So thank you for that, Jose. So let's give it up for Principal Jose Martinez. Somebody else who's easy to brag on is Orange Center Elementary Principal Margaret Talbert Irving. She earned the 2017-2018 Florida Tax Watch Principal Leadership Award for the elementary school level. The award identifies Florida's most effective principals in high-risk K-12 public schools and publicly recognizes their work across the state. This award is not based on a nomination, but instead it comes from Florida Tax Watch analyzing student performance data over several years to measure impact in communities. Ms. Talbert Irving picked up her award in April and also during the Tax Watch spring meeting here in Orlando. And as a former legislator, anybody who knows Florida Tax Watch knows that they are one tough cookie of an organization, and they do not give out awards lightly. So, Ms. Talbert Irving, congratulations on your great success. And somebody well known and loved by this board as an outstanding principal wherever he seems to be is Catalina Elementary School Principal Seth Daub. Mr. Daub is a 2018 National Distinguished Principal for the entire state of Florida. The award is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Education and the National Association of Elementary and Middle School Principals, and the National Distinguished Principals Program was established to honor exemplary elementary and middle school principals who set the pace, character, and quality of the education children receive during their early school years. Principal Daub has done an excellent job, and he is a well-regarded leader both among his fellow peer principals, but also he is recognized as one of our most outstanding principals by this board and administration. And he will be recognized in Washington, D.C. during the 2018 National Distinguished Principal event in October of this year. So, Seth, thank you as well for making us look so good. And before I have you come up here and shake hands, let me see if any of our board members would like to add anything to that. Ms. Flynn.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Chair.
And yeah, we're going to make you stand for all this.
I just wanted to say I've had the pleasure of either being a school board member in their district or working as with Mr. Dobbs with Relay for Life on the same committee. And all three of these individuals, they're creative, they're leaders, they're kind, they're enthusiastic about what their jobs are. They just have the whole package. So I just want to say I'm honored to have been able to work with you all, and I just want to congratulate each one of you. And of course, for Dr. Martinez, I just want to say, you know what we always say? It's great to be a grenadier.
Mrs. Gordon.
Well, thank you so very much, Mr. Chair. I, too, want to give you my thanks because Dr. Martinez, just, you know, you've been a blessing to all of us. I think you know that, and you've done a marvelous job in the role that you're in now. And we just love you for that, and we thank you. And to Margaret Irving, Miss Talbert, she always said, I'm going to hold my own one day, and you did. We thank you for all that you did, from running from Rolling Hills to Orange Center, from Orange Center to Rolling Hills, walking without any shoes at times throughout the building. But we really thank you, and we know that you're in a higher leadership now. So we know that we will still continue to get your services, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart. May God bless you, and thank you for your leadership there at Orange Center and in School Board District 5. And then to your counterpart, Seth Daub, you've been in and out of District 5, and you just wanted to come back. I couldn't believe that. You wanted to come back. And you worked on all levels for us, and we just thank you I really couldn't believe that you really wanted to come back. And that was hard, and you've done an outstanding job at Catalina and all of the programs that you've really put together out there. I haven't been able to hardly get to any of them, mostly because you do so many wonderful things, but I've had the opportunity of working with you for many, many years. You're an outstanding person. And when Dr. Jenkins called me in and she said, he wants to come back, I said, bring him home, bring him home. But you are well deserving of this award. I mean, you are a distinguished leader, not only in the state of Florida, but in the nation. And you really have helped us so much, and especially when you were at Jones High. You really just tip your hats to us, but you wanted to move and help us in one of our struggling, challenged schools, and you've done an outstanding job helping us to move those students to the top. And I love you and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Dr. Jenkins.
Thank you, Chairman. I just would not miss an opportunity to include my kudos to both Jose and Margaret and Seth. Phenomenal principals, but also tremendous representatives of their colleagues here in Orange County. So for what they've done to achieve their recognition, we commend you. We also thank you on behalf of the other administrators who you represent here in Orange County. We are so proud of you. My administrative team is extremely proud. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for representing all of the wonderful principals and administrators we have here in Orange County.
Now, before you can sit down, we'd like to shake your hands, if you don't mind. So if you could come on up, I know the whole board would like to personally say a moment or a word.
Just hit me.
All right, we have two more very special recognitions tonight. Tonight, I am pleased to share with you that Orange County Public Schools is once again a Florida Healthy School District Gold Level Award recipient. Now, you may ask what that means. It means that our district has made a high-level commitment to meeting the health needs of students and staff by removing barriers to learning and maximizing district resources through the implementation of the coordinated school health approach. The award is issued through a partnership between Florida Action for Healthy Kids, the Florida Association of District School Superintendents, and the Florida Healthy Kids Corporation. Melody Griffin, the state coordinator of Action for Healthy Kids, is here this evening, and I'm going to ask Ms. Griffin to please come to the podium and share a few words with us in recognition of this event. Welcome, Ms. Griffin.
Thank you, and I am so excited to be here for the third time for Orange County, because this is now your third time receiving this Gold Award. We now have 50 districts in the state that are recognized as healthy districts, but only 14 are at the gold level. So kudos to Orange County Public Schools, not only for being at the gold level, but doing it 3 times in a row. I do want to recognize those areas that Orange County received outstanding points in. So your district infrastructure, which are your policies and procedures, you received 100%, so perfect score there. Your health services received 90%. A healthy school environment received 100%. Employee wellness, 93%. And family and community involvement was 88%. I do a lot of these presentations, and normally it's 1 or 2 areas that we recognize, so I'm proud to say that Orange County Public Schools also had many of the areas that scored highly. Doing this assessment takes a lot of time. It's almost a year-long process, and you have your tool team here today. So if you can stand up and be recognized, that would be wonderful. It truly is a team effort, so thank you to that. And I can say truly, working throughout the state of Florida, that Orange County Public Schools is on the forefront of ensuring the future of a healthy Florida by creating a healthy school environment and ensuring that your students and staff are health literate and practicing, and that they are fit, healthy, and ready to learn. So thank you very much, and we have a flag we'd like to present you for your recognition.
Before we present the flag, let me just, what did you call them, our tool team? That's cool. It's like home improvement.
I was supposed to release that information, but yes, it can be a dry process, and I love that this district makes it fun, and so they are the tool team as they complete the assessment.
All right, well, let me ask them to stand then again. If you're here representing environmental services, food and nutrition services, curriculum and instruction, employee wellness, exceptional student services, and health services, as well as risk management, if all of y'all could stand. And I'm going to ask legal, I will in a minute, and if I can have legal stand too. Stand up, Mr. Rodriguez. I think y'all can all stand. Congratulations again. And then the board would like to shake all your hands as well, and yours as well, Ms. Griffin, and we'll take that flag and run it up the pole.
She's going to open it. Are you going to open it?
Flag.
Melanie, you're not going to open it? Yeah, the team can hold it. Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice. Thank you. Listen, thank you. There you are. I wonder where you were. I know. Always. Hey! I didn't know you were with this team.
Yeah, let's stay here.
The team.
But you just
Can we hang it up? Thank you. Okay. That's beautiful, isn't it? That was nice.
All right, our final recognition tonight, we have a very special guest with us tonight from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We have Karen Nagy. And Karen, can I have you come up to the podium? There you are. Hi, how are you? Ms. Nagy is a campaign manager for the Student Series programs in North and Central Florida. And she has some very good news to share with us tonight regarding OCPS student involvement with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Welcome, Ms. Nagy.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Student Series is a STEM-based service learning and philanthropy program supporting the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We have the Pennies for Patients program in elementary and middle school, and we have Collect for Cures in high schools. Student Series connects schools with local blood cancer patients. We provide tangible life skills to participants and allow students to see the impact that they are making in the life of others. Schools that participate in Pennies for Patients receive a STEM curriculum to incorporate into their fundraising and beyond. This school year, we had over 400 schools in North and Central Florida that participated in our programs, and combined, they raised $525,000 for research and for patient support. Many of those schools came from Orange County Public Schools, and I just want to mention a few of those that really stood out to us this year. Wyndham Lakes Elementary, Dover Shores Elementary School, Dr. Phillips Elementary School, Southwood Elementary School, Arbor Ridge School, Kings Crossing Elementary School, Windy Ridge, and Baldwin Park Elementary was our highest fundraising school in Central Florida, raising just under $9,000. They were Audubon Park when we started the year, and they were Baldwin Park when we finished the year. But they wanted a plaque that said Baldwin Park and take it into next year. So we're very proud of them for their support. I also, we had 108 schools in Orange County Public Schools that participated with us this year, and they raised just about $200,000. So I think so a big round of applause to all the students and the faculty that support us. The money that we raise in our programs goes towards funding research, of course, and to provide patient support. Last year, there were 18 FDA approvals for blood cancer patients, and 15 of them were funded by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So the money that your schools are raising to help LLS is really leading to big, significant differences for blood cancer patients. And last year, we were able to pay out $1.9 million to patients here in North and Central Florida in copay assistance. I have with me tonight a community partnership award to present to Orange County Public Schools. And I finally want to mention that over the last 15 years, Orange County Public Schools has raised $2.7 million for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Thank you so much for your partnership, and we look forward to a continued partnership in next year.
Ms. Nagy, thank you again for that honor, and thank you for all that your organization does to battle those two terrible illnesses and diseases. Thank you. All right, we do have a strategic plan update at this time. Dr. Jenkins.
Thank you, Chairman. Members of the board, we are actually going to be presenting to you as requested. I believe Ms. Gould was the one that first asked for this information. A presentation on our homeless program as well as our mental health procedures here in the district. Presenting on behalf of the homeless program activities is Christine Savino, Senior Administrator for Federal Programs, and then Mary Bridges, Senior Director for Student Services, will talk about our mental health services.
All right, thank you. So once again, we will be covering homelessness and mental health challenges for students, OCPS supports for students, and community support for students for mental health, OCPS support for students, community support for students, interagency support for students, Senate Bill 7026, as well as plans for increased support for students. So I'd like to start with sharing that federal law provides a definition that all school districts must use to determine homeless eligibility, which includes individuals who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Fixed is defined as stationary, not subject to change or fluctuation, regular, meaning normal standard nightly basis, and adequate housing sufficient for meeting physical as well as psychological needs. A student may only lack one of these to be determined eligible for homeless rights and services. A hotel is fixed and regular, but it is often not adequate housing. A student sharing the housing of someone else may have an adequate and fixed location to stay, a stationary structure, but they may not stay there on a regular basis, not knowing where they're going to be from night to night or week to week. Causes include lack of affordable housing, underemployment, deep poverty, health problems, domestic violence, natural disasters, abuse, neglect, and family conflict. Preliminary 2017 through 2018 numbers indicate that over 9,600 students were identified as experiencing homelessness in OCPS. This is nearly a 3,500 student increase in comparison to the previous year, which is attributed mostly to recent hurricanes. The breakdown of nighttime residents, as also aligned with federal law, is as follows. Shared housing, 7,415. Hotels, 1,852. Shelters, 289 students. And those residing in cars, parks, or other places not designated for sleeping, 134 students identified. Challenges to academic success of students experiencing homelessness often include enrollment requirements, high mobility, access to programs, transportation, and basic needs. These challenges are recognized nationwide and addressed by the federal McKinney-Vento Act to remove such barriers to academic success of students experiencing homelessness. Due to these recognized challenges, OCPS provides the following services. Title I must set aside funding to meet the needs of students experiencing homelessness, whether or not they attend a Title I school. OCPS also applies for and receives Title IX funding specific to homeless education. The district has 3 homeless education liaisons and establishes a point of contact at each school to meet the needs of homeless students. Direct services are provided, yet training for school-based staff is also conducted to build awareness and access to services. Title I and Title IX funding help facilitate enrollment and school stability, free school meals, transportation for school stability, educational services and referrals to community services. It assists with parent involvement, as well as student involvement in school and school-related activities, as well as school attendance. In addition, OCPS has a kids closet, which is accessible to all school social workers and serves any student or family member in need, homeless or not. It is mostly stocked and with donated items from community partnerships, individual donors, and new clothing is provided through a grant awarded by Westgate Resorts Foundation. OCPS, in collaboration with the Foundation for OCPS, works with many community partners that contribute to meeting the needs of students experiencing homelessness. They include, but are not limited to, BB&T Bank, which assists with funding for housing, education, and transportation assistance. Florida Realtors and Central Florida Hotel and Lodging Association, which holds school supply drives and hygiene drives and food drives. Barnes & Noble donated nearly 10,000 new books to students this past school year. Life Touch Portraits provide picture vouchers for free portraits. And Maggiano Little Italy restaurant provides monthly meals to a family selected by our program each month. Various organizations contribute to gifts during the holiday season as well. The Florida Homeless Youth Handbook was launched this year by the American Bar Association. The handbook was added to the OCPS Launchpad, which is accessible online to all students and staff. Middle and high school youth will have access to this next year through their digital devices with wireless hotspots available to such homeless youth as provided through partnerships with Sprint and T-Mobile. The handbook provides online resources and legal advice for youth to address education, healthcare, safety, housing, domestic violence, foster care, LGBTQ issues, employment, and mental health. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mary Bridges, who's going to speak further about mental health.
Good evening. In July 2017, the Student Services Department was created by combining the resources and efforts of the mental health counselors, school social workers, psychologists, and district guidance counselors. As a result of consolidating the efforts, OCPS provided targeted social, emotional, behavioral, and mental health support to students this past year. There was greater collaboration and a continuity of services between entities. For example, we provided a more rapid response to crisis situations, and there was better communication with outside agencies and our district police force. These efforts will continue and expand as the district responds to the mandates of the new legislation. An important emphasis has been to provide professional development in order to increase awareness and identification of students with mental health needs. Trainings during 2017-18 included bullying prevention for bus drivers, trauma-informed care and self-regulation. This training assists schools as they seek to understand the root causes for student behavior and provide appropriate interventions. OCPS was awarded the Title IV grant this year. Those funds are being used to create trauma-sensitive learning environments in selected OCPS schools. Youth Mental Health First Aid is an intensive 8-hour training that provides strategies for identifying and responding to students with mental health needs. This training has been offered to district staff as well as school staff, counselors, and SAFE coordinators. Mental Health 101 is an overview of mental health provided for district behavior specialists. This year, the training was opened up for any employee to register and attend. The team that responds to threat to suicide and harm to self or others provided training for district personnel and designated school-based personnel. This team worked closely with schools and families to create mental health safety plans for students who had been Baker Acted. 59 mental health trainings with 739 OCPS staff were trained in mental health awareness and identification this year. OCPS also collaborates with other community partners to address an array of social emotional needs that impact our students. The Winter Park Health Foundation provide chill counselors. The Holocaust Center has an upstanders bullying prevention program. Equality Florida and Zebra Coalition help with LGBTQ awareness. Orange County Government and United Way assist with the 211 and Mobile Crisis Response Unit. The National Alliance on Mental Health Illness, or NAMI, provides student presentations entitled Ending the Silence. The Orange County Drug-Free Coalition has Safe School Ambassadors and helps schools with Red Ribbon Week. The Orange County Youth Mental Health Committee works with OCPS as a pilot for coordinated mental health for students who have been Baker Acted more than 2 times. And Harbor House helps with teen dating violence awareness. SEDNet is a discretionary project funded by the Florida Department of Education. OCPS is working to expand our community partnerships for the 2018-19 school year. There are currently 13 SEDNet community agencies which partner with Orange County Public Schools to provide counseling and mental health services to students and families. Arthropause, A Great Life Services, Big Bear Behavioral Health, Chrysalis Health, Polycarp, Devereaux, Aspire Health Partners, Adapt Behavioral Services, Children and Families Place, Kinder Consulting, A Better Therapy, Advanced Psychiatric Solutions, and Children's Home Society are our current partners. To comply with the mental health initiatives outlined in Senate Bill 7026, which is the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School Safety Act, a district framework is being created to address the behavioral, social, emotional, and mental health needs of OCPS students. At least 90% of a district's allocation must be focused on delivering evidence-based mental health care and treatment to children. Personnel will provide learning communities additional support at Tier 2 and Tier 3, positive behavior interventions and supports implementation, and allow for more direct counseling services to students. In addition to the positions created by the mental health allocation, this fall every elementary school will have a full-time certified school counselor or behavior specialist to serve as a guidance counselor, and every middle and high school will have a SAFE coordinator. The bill also allocates funds to assist with the implementation of mental health services at charter schools. The OCPS Mental Health Assistance Plan will increase student support by adding additional positions. 12 additional district mental health counselors will allow for increased one-to-one counseling support to children and greater mental health awareness training for all district staff. 9 additional school psychologists and 5 additional school social workers will be added to lower the number of students they serve. 5 new mental health partnerships will be added to SEDNet with an emphasis on substance abuse prevention and intervention. 6 new behavior coaches and 2 behavior analysts will be assigned to learning communities and will help train school personnel in the creation and implementation of PBIS systems and help school personnel with general education behavior programming and monitoring. And a social emotional support team consisting of 5 members will be created who will assist schools and families with mental health related issues. The new team will address the specific areas which affect our students' well-being and academic success. There will be specific focus on bullying, LGBTQ, PBIS, suicide threat response, and substance abuse. This team will work closely with SAFE coordinators and school counselors to provide support and training on these topics to appropriate district employees.
Thank you. Members of the board, certainly we are available to answer any questions and hear your discussion. We will also be posting this information to our website. Lots of folks have had questions regarding our mental health services. As you can see, they are extensive. However, the additional grant dollars from the state will provide additional services for our students. Chairman?
Thank you, Ms. Bridges and Ms. Savino. Let me go to Ms. Gould first. Thank you for calling for this presentation, Ms. Gould. I know it's been an issue near and dear to your heart. Ms. Gould?
Thank you. Thank you for the information. I mean, we are very proactive on the reactive side, and I'm happy to hear that we're able to increase some of those things. On the homeless component, this is still only half the story, so I would like us to get the rest of the story. The Commission on Homelessness and partners in the community commissioned a youth homelessness study that I think everybody should hear, and we should hear it in a public forum so that it is in the record. So I would like to still have that piece of it come back either in a workshop or at another board meeting, if that's possible. But this was really, really helpful. I'm also going to put out a plea, since we do air these board meetings. The handbook is electronically on our site, and we have a couple that were put together, and Walt Disney World was also one of the wonderful sponsors to really make that book happen. But we could use 200 more of them. So if anybody wants to help us get 200 more books so that we can actually put them in all of the schools, that would be great. On the mental health services, the reactive stuff is great. I went to a session at Florida School Boards Association about the Sandy Hook Promise, which is really the organization that came together that has 3 different initiatives that are free to any school district anywhere. Start with Hello, which really teaches youth about more inclusiveness and connectedness, so it helps defer some of that alienation of what we see, and it also helps find, I believe our numbers are underreported on the homeless situation, especially when it's teenagers. They don't tell the truth on where they're living. Safety and assessment intervention, which really helps with threats, and then the suicide prevention program, because if you track this at all, you know there's a huge increase in suicides across our country, not just in youth, in adults, but especially in youth. So I will pass this information on to you all. I was going to bring it up at the end, but since it was here, maybe it's something else we can investigate, since it is a free tool that's out there, because it was so fully funded through that tragedy and the outpouring of donations that came together that started the funding for that process. But thank you very much for all of that. And one other question for you. I had an incident happen at one of my schools this summer during summer school, and I know we don't have resources, but is that something that we can look at doing through this grant, of having those extended resources when school is in session in the summer? Because I know we don't have the full staffing that we normally have
Yes, and over the summer, they can call the district, and we do have assistance that we can send out. But for
Okay.
being on the school campuses, what we'll hope is that the training that we'll be giving the schools during the school year, there will be additional people on campus that will have some of that training during summer school.
Okay, thank you. That would help just for the continuity of the programming. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Gordon.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I do want to acknowledge Dr. Schuler and her department, and thank you, Mrs. Bridges, and especially you, Dr. Jenkins, in the allocation of the mental health services that we will be receiving within our school. The Senate Bill 7026 with the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School Safety Act, I believe that your department has distributed that well, and I think that every student will benefit from the funds that have been allocated for the mental health services. This has been a main area of the board, and you as superintendent have tried your best to function and give us the mental health services and guidance counselors that we need without any type of allocation like this. So I do want to commend you and your staff for an outstanding job, and I'm helping with this allocation. I also want to thank Dr. Schuler and her staff for sitting with each board member and really going through this in detail so that we would be well aware of where these allocated mental health services will be extended into the community. And I do want to add that I did talk with Dr. Schuler and mention to her that there are many organizations out there, just like the Leukemia organization came to us today and presented an award for what our children have done, but there are organizations out there that we have not tapped. And they are reaching our children. And as you were giving your report, Mary Bridges, what really stunned me, we as guidance counselors, I said, whoa, wait a minute. We're missing the boat here. We're still missing something because they are out there servicing our children. So Dr. Jenkins and Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask that if there's any way that those of us, we know of many organizations, but they're not connected with OCPS. We have got to reach out and pool our resources. I think you have met some of these top organizations, and even our churches. They have extended the arm. The chairman and I, we looked at each other and we said, that's 10,000 that we know of. There are students that have not even enrolled in the school because they are afraid that their parents will be deported and sent back. So they haven't even enrolled. But those service organizations out there that we've awarded time to time at this board that we have not extended olive branch, we can help them to better reach the children. And I wanted to see if Dr. Jenkins would work on that to see if we could bring you names of organizations that we know that's going into our community. I know of several going into my community, and I've awarded several of them at the board table, but there's still so many that we haven't reached. But that's an organization partnership. And as you hear Ms. Gould ask for books for these children, please don't take it, make sure the books are healthy. You all know how I am about that as a librarian. Please, the books must be really, they should be pretty much in good shape. If you can't read it, the kids can't read it. I mean, don't take them what you don't want. Take them what they can use. Make the book a joy. You don't want to pick up a book that a dog bit off, and don't let me get off on that, because y'all, you know how I am about the library books. They need to be new, okay? They need to be new. I'm weeding out all my stuff, and I don't even want to give it to anybody. You want to surplus it, let it go. But I would like to see us get together with these organizations and make some kind of, I think you know what I'm trying to get to. It ought to be a center where we're all connecting, where we can help them better serve our children, since they see them. They know where they are. These churches, they see them and they know where they are, and they're not all in our schools. So it's very important that we get to these children, because eventually one day they may be in the school and they're going to really be behind, and that's going to touch me. And then I talked to Dr. Shula about we have the kids closet, but that's basically a lot of little kids things. We really need to start developing a youth closet also, and finding a way that they could get to these, especially those that are homeless, and that you talked about living in various places within our communities. And most of us, we know where they are because we have organizations going in. So basically, those are the things that I wanted us as a board to look at doing and enhancing and putting together those organizations and building a partnership with them so that we can help them help our children that we haven't even seen, and that we can also, they can help us by getting those kids to us and also getting things that they may need that they're providing weekly. I know some people go out every Saturday and they said, this is our homeless family, and we've been with them. And then when I talk with them, sometimes I know some of them are not in school, and then they are not here. They are here for a couple of weeks, and then they're gone. So with that in mind, Dr. Jenkins, I really am going to ask the chairman to allow me to see if I will be more than willing to work with you on some of the organizations to see we can all pull them together. Even we just called a meeting, which we have never done, of those organizations that are out there helping and helping us to make these children better and give them a good mental health. And one lady said, don't use mental health, but it's mental health. It goes beyond mental health, but it is getting them healthy. All righty. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon. Ms. Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. During the past year or so in my school visits, I've heard from principals from elementary, middle, and high school that they're seeing more children and students who are having anxiety attacks and being Baker acted. It just seems that it's happening with more frequent occurrence. So I'm very happy to see that there's a lot of professional development training, because I think from top to bottom, our staff, not that they become all of our staff, classified, instructional, not that they become the expert, but they have some type of an awareness. And we talked about this in our committee meeting, and that, the teachers become a safe person for a child to go up to and possibly reveal something that could be helped by a mental health professional. And so I just encourage us to continue with that professional development, because I think the preventative part of what we could offer is very important too, and maybe seeing why these children, and it's not just testing, it's not just homework, it's not just this, it's everything combined. It's family life, it's social pressures, it's peer pressure, it's everything. And so I'm really very pleased to see what you all are doing, and you're doing so much. So I thank you and the superintendent for presenting this presentation. Thank you.
Mrs. Robinson.
I too just want to thank you guys, and I want to point out something that struck me when I heard this. July of 2016, I believe, is the date you said that we started this.
Last summer, July of 2017, we combined.
We combined this to have the full student
services department. Yes.
And I want to congratulate you, Dr. Jenkins, for being proactive with that and already having the social emotional well-being of our children on the forefront before this hit, so that the support people are already in place and prepared for this. And that's why I think y'all have done such a fabulous job of wrapping your arms around this and thanking everyone for the money, because without the funding, we wouldn't be able to do as much of this as we are. And I mean, the self-regulation of the students and the character development, and in particular, the support for the LGBTQ students, and just the faculty and everyone understanding how to best serve our most vulnerable students. So I just thank you so much for being proactive, Dr. Jenkins, and thank you guys for being there and taking this and running with it. It's great. Great to hear. Good information.
Ms. Gould.
One of the things that I wanted to remind legal about was the question of the mental health assessment and the drug and alcohol assessment with the pediatricians for the back to school. So I would like to see when we circle back around this, whether it's at a workshop or at our board meeting again, to talk about that again, and what are the possibilities or legal ramifications of being able to ask for that assessment with back-to-school physicals.
Well, thank you, Ms. Bridges, Sabina, your entire team for this presentation. Let me echo the thanks for you, Dr. Jenkins, for being ahead of the curve on this issue. You started this initiative before the tragedy happened at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, as Mrs. Robinson pointed out. And, you know, folks watching this should be aware how dramatic this is for us in OCPS. When I first got on this board a short 8 years ago, I think we had about 2,500, 3,000 homeless students. And then I remember after the recession, I would go out and would tell audiences to gasp in the audience that we have 6,000 homeless students. And now in a short 2 years, we're up to close to 10,000 homeless students. So it is a crisis in this community, and one that we're struggling to deal with, but I want to thank your team. I also want to thank somebody that we rarely get to thank up here. And I'm speaking on my own behalf now because I don't want to set off a firestorm, but you know, rarely do we get to thank the Florida legislature and the fact that we're able to hire 12 new mental health counselors and how many school psychologists? Nine, and
Five.
And also social workers. Rarely do I like funding that comes in silos or that is not unfettered, but you know, frankly, they're doing the right thing. Albeit it took a tragedy to get us there, but they're doing the right thing because we're woefully understaffed in this state and country when it comes to mental health counselors in our schools and school psychologists and social workers, and we need them because they're our first bulwark against those kind of tragedies. So thank you again, Dr. Jenkins, and Ms. Bridges, thank you for this presentation. Appreciate it very much. All right. We're going to transition here into our regular agenda. I want to thank our newly appointed administrators for waiting so patiently for this point of the program. Let me turn it over to Dr. Jenkins to take us away on that.
Thank you. We have several appointments to introduce you to this evening, board members. Let me start with Mary Carmen Aponte, a resource teacher at Colonial High School, will be the new assistant principal at Colonial.
Good evening. I would like to thank Chairman Sablet, the school board, Superintendent Jenkins, and her staff for the opportunity to serve. I would like to thank my mentors for all of their support to be here tonight, Mr. Martinez, Ms. Fuller, Ms. Rios, Mr. Rosales, Mr. Jimenez, and Mr. Mesker. Thank you. I would also like to thank my family and friends for all their support, my husband, my parents, my sister, and my children. Thank you, and I look forward to being a grenadier, and it's great to be a grenadier.
Patricia Sells, reading specialist at Meadowwoods Elementary, will be the new assistant principal at Eagle Creek Elementary.
Thank you, Chairman Sablet, school board members, and Dr. Jenkins for this incredible opportunity to serve the community of Eagle Creek. I would also like to thank my loving family who could not be here this evening for their ongoing support in all of my professional endeavors. My mentors, Aleli Vasquez, Carl Fox, and Suzanne Workham, for their collaboration and support in helping to develop my leadership qualities. And my dear friends that are also seated beside me and colleagues, James Morissetti, Judy Bransford, and Carmen DeTavio. And also Suzanne Martinez is back there in the audience. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to serving with Panther Pride. Thank you.
Betsy Lease, reading specialist at Edgewater High School, will be the new assistant principal at Edgewater High School.
Thank you to Chairman Sablet, school board members, Superintendent Jenkins and her staff. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as assistant principal at Edgewater High School. Thank you very much to my mentors, many of who are here today, for their leadership and encouragement throughout these years. Dr. Leanne Bradshaw, Miss Becky Watson, Dr. Mark Shanoff, my partners, Takini Thompson, Tia Maselli, and Shane Smith as well. Thank you very much to my family who is here, my mom, over 40-year educator who's here with us, my kids Taylor and Hayden, and my wonderfully supportive husband Brandon. And I look forward so much to continuing to be an Edgewater Eagle.
Elaine Lundberg, resource teacher at Dillard Street, will be the assistant principal at West Oaks Elementary.
I'd like to thank Chairman Sublette and the school board, along with Superintendent Jenkins, for this opportunity to be an assistant principal at West Oaks Elementary. I would like to thank my mentors, Mr. Rob Bixler, Mr. Raheem Jones, Mr. Greg Booty, Mrs. Deborah Vereen, Mrs. Thomas, and also Maurice Dragon, who might be here tonight. And I'd like to thank my family, my mom and dad, my sister, her boyfriend, my wonderful husband, Grant Lundberg, and my 2 children who have been surprisingly quiet this whole time, Gavin Lundberg and Ada Lundberg. Thank you again for your support. I'm looking forward to be a Wildcat at West Oaks.
Akia Maston, Dean at Sunridge Middle School, will be the new assistant principal at Bridgewater Middle School.
Hi. Thank you. I'm very excited. I would like to thank the chairman, Sublette, as well as the entire school board. Thank you, Dr. Jenkins, for this opportunity, as well as to your staff. I'd also like to take the time to thank Mrs. Patricia Painter for being a tremendous support system at Sunridge, Mr. Eddie Foster, as well as Ms. Sahira Sarmiento at Sunridge Middle, and Ms. Valencia Boyd has also been a tremendous support system throughout this entire process. So I'm excited to be a Bobcat at Bridgewater, and I look forward to serving. Thank you so much.
Tamara McKendrick, resource teacher at Orange Technical College, Winter Park Campus, will be the new assistant director at Orange Technical College, Winter Park Campus.
Yes, hi. Thank you to our chairman, Sublette, the school board members, and Dr. Jenkins, our superintendent. I'm honored to be appointed this position as assistant director. My mentors who have supported me along the way, Dr. Mike Brewster, our associate superintendent for career and tech ed, and our assistant directors, my direct boss, Dr. Cap, and Kristen Akins, and Matt Fitzpatrick, and Peggy Wilster, if she's here, and Mr. Clark Flourmont have all mentored me throughout this whole process, and I'm very appreciative. And also today I have with me my friends, Ms. Sylvia and Ms. Kim, who are also Orange County employees for many, many years, and my wonderful husband, Chad McKendrick. So thank you, and I look forward to continuing with career and tech education, where we're changing lives through education.
I'm sorry, Elaine, did you forget to introduce someone? They said you were coming back for the microphone.
It would not be a very good evening for me. I wanted to.
I'm sorry, Kia.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to give a special thank you to this entire row. My amazing husband, Brad Masson, has been a support system throughout this entire process. My mother, Diana, phenomenal support system. My 3 children, Jace, Jana, and Alex, which I will be at his school. And he's like, out of all the schools in Orange County, you got mine. I'm excited about that. And of course, my beautiful mother-in-law, thank you for your support. And thank you for the opportunity to come back to the mic to say that. Thank you.
That's a good save, Akia. Kimberly Parsons, testing coordinator at Colonial High School, will be the new assistant principal at Colonial.
Hi, good evening. I'd like to thank Chairman Sublette, the school board, Superintendent Jenkins, and her staff for this opportunity to serve. I would also like to thank my mentors for all of their support to be here tonight, specifically Mr. Martinez, oh my gosh, that's a lot of phones, and the entire administrative team at Colonial High School. I'd like to thank my family for their support throughout the years, my father and my husband, and my dear friends and colleagues, Destiny Hahn, Derek Fontaine, Brian Himshoot, and Amy Himshoot. Thank you, and I look forward to being a Colonial High School Grenadier. It's great to be a Grenadier.
Taisha Spates, resource teacher at Shingle Creek, will be the new assistant principal at John Young Elementary.
Good evening. I would like to thank Chairman Sublette and Superintendent Dr. Jenkins and her staff for this opportunity to serve at John Young Elementary. I would also like to thank my mentors, Dr. Sandy Castellano in Tampa, Florida, Laura Supernard, and my motivator, Jennifer Schaefer. Thank you to Ms. Hunt, Mr. Adamson, Dr. Gullett, and Mr. Rodriguez for starting my next chapter. Additionally, my sincere gratitude to my biggest supporters, my husband, Donnell, my daughters Tatiana and Michaela, my queen, my mother, my father, and siblings and family streaming in from Miami, Los Angeles, Killeen, and Nassau, Bahamas. Hi, y'all. I would also like to thank Val, Jess, Michelle, Dianita, Courtney, and Ben for reminding me that this day will come. To my Shingle Creek family, thank you for 11 great years. Above all, I thank God for this opportunity. I look forward to working with Mr. Rodriguez and the staff at John Young, the community, and Vice Chair Linda Colbert. Thank you.
Nicole Villaverde, resource teacher at Hunters Creek Elementary, will be the new assistant principal at Hunters Creek.
Good evening. I would like to thank Chairman Sublette and Superintendent Dr. Jenkins and her staff for this opportunity to serve at Hunters Creek Elementary. I would also like to thank my mentors who have always been supportive of me throughout this journey. Dr. Gullett, my current principal, Ms. Fresia Urdaneta, who is mid-flight heading to a principal's training and couldn't be here. My former AP, Mr. Wilson, who left some big shoes to fill. Additionally, my sincere gratitude to my family and friends, especially my mom who's with us, my sister, my little niece Bella, and the rest of the family who is also live streaming from Miami, who could not be here today and is watching us live. Lastly, to all my friends who have been there for me, especially Dr. Martinez, thank you. I look forward to continuing the work with the staff at Hunters Creek Elementary, the community, and Vice Chairman Linda Corbett. Thank you.
Andrew Agudo, assistant principal at John Young, will be the new principal at Inglewood Elementary School.
Good evening, Chairman Sublette, board members, Superintendent Jenkins, and staff. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to serve the community and work with the families and students each day. At this time, I'd like to thank my mentors, Ian Gazinhait and Lino Rodriguez. I would also like to thank and recognize my family members watching at home and my wife, Lori, who's here this evening. And thank you again for this wonderful opportunity to serve.
Donna Brown was Director in Professional Development Services, will be the new assistant principal at Riverside Elementary School.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Sublette, Dr. Jenkins, and the board. I really appreciate this opportunity to be the assistant principal at Riverside. I would like to thank my friends who are here. We just finished up a TIF grant, and that has ended, and so now I'm starting a new journey, and I am so excited. And they are Jill and Erland and Teresa and Corinne. I'd also like to thank my family whose love and support I could not do without. Thank you to my Heavenly Father and also my earthly father, Ivan and Barbara Poston, my sister, who is my best friend, also an educator, Pam Theobald, my son, who is a police officer standing in the back because he can't sit down with these chairs, Mike and his wife, Kaylee, and my very outspoken but adorable grandson, Brody, and to my family that's in Germany in the Army, my son, Eric, Vicky, and my granddaughter, Emma. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm excited.
Sanjay Brown, assistant principal at Lake Silver, will be the new principal at College Park Middle School.
Thank you, Chairman Sublette, school board members, Dr. Jenkins, and staff. I thank you for the opportunity to continue my service as a principal for College Park Middle School. To my lovely wife and family, thank you for your support throughout these past years and the years to come. To the two principals, my mentors, Dr. Fernandez and Mrs. Muse, I thank you for your mentorship and trust in allowing me to spread my wings. To my colleagues, Lauren Maxwell, Camille Lebs, and Ms. Terry Pincheski, thank you for collaborating with me, participating in my growth, and listening to my long conversations. To the staff of both schools, your support has been paramount on this journey. I thank you and will do my best to continue serving the students and families of College Park. Go BoardDocs.
Now, you may have heard that Anna Diaz will be leaving us to start her own business, assisting families of children with disabilities, and in her place will be Raheem Jones, the new area superintendent for the North Learning Community.
Good evening.
Thank you, Chairman Sublette, School Board, and Dr. Jenkins for this opportunity. I am truly honored and humbled to be appointed as Area Superintendent. I am very proud to serve the students, families, schools, and communities of the North Learning community. I'd like to thank some of the leaders that have helped me grow professionally and personally throughout my career in OCPS. Mr. Rob Bixler, my first principal, who still says to me to this day, once my AP, always my AP. Dr. Rosita Riley, Dr. John Edwards, Dr. Jennifer Reeves, Dr. Maria Vasquez, Dr. Anna Diaz, and Mr. Greg Moody. I'd also like to thank my partner Tim for all his love and support over the past 20 plus years. Thank you again for this opportunity.
And then we are very proud that Diane Gullett will be joining Dr. Jara in Clark County as his deputy superintendent. Her replacement is Dr. James Larson, Area Superintendent, Southwest Learning Community.
Chairman Sublette, Board, Dr. Jenkins, truly honored for this opportunity. I'm excited to serve Orange County in this capacity, more specifically the Southwest Learning Community at this time. And I have a lot of friends in the room. It's been 25 years here in Orange County, and I can't thank all of you, but I appreciate you. But principals that I've worked with that were instrumental for me were Tom Pylant, Jan Pratt, Dan Buckman, and then I had the pleasure of moving on and working with executives, Jenny Reeves, Kathy Pope, Rosita Riley, Shirley Cowens, Bridget Williams, and then further on to be led and grown by Maria Vasquez, Scott Fritz, and the amazing Dr. James Lawson, and all the work that he does in the Minority Achievement Office. The last couple of years have been very rewarding work, and I have a lot to thank him. I'd be remiss not to thank my colleagues, the executive area directors that we've worked with, that I've worked with over the last 5 years. What a powerful group of individuals they are, and I have the utmost respect for all of them and what they do. But working with each of you, Dr. Jenkins and the cabinet is going to be an honor and a privilege. My 3 oldest children couldn't be here tonight, Ian, Colin, and Sydney. My stepdaughter Lily is with her father, but I do have my mother-in-law in the back with that little nugget there, who allowed me to take a new lease out on life, my 15-month-old Olivia. My mom's here. My dad's not. He passed away 21 years ago as a principal of Liberty. He's still with me every day. He's with us right now. Always will be. Supported by my wife, who's awesome. She puts up with me. I was trying not to cry. She's all things great, and I've been blessed. So, again, thank you for this opportunity.
That's it, Chairman.
Ms. Cobert.
So first, I'd like to congratulate all of you on this movement in your careers, despite how many challenges come along with such exponential growth. It does offer career opportunities for our people that you so richly deserve and have worked very hard for. And it always strikes me when we have these nights how you have mentored each other along. Each one of you have come in here, not only with your family, your close friends, principals you've worked with in the past who show up for you, principals you're going to work with now who show up for you, and that just really strikes me. The family atmosphere, the opportunities that we have here, and the level of pride in all of you that I just want to express. I'm not going to name names tonight because there are too many to count, but I am extraordinarily proud of all of you in your careers. So good luck and congratulations.
Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you. And I'm glad I had you speak first because I had to collect myself, Mr. Larson. You got me crying up here. There are so many wonderful people moving up tonight and several people moving on to new things, and that's really exciting. I just want to quickly say welcome so much to Sanjay Brown. We're just so excited to have you come to College Park Middle, and I know that a lot of the families already know you because you're just moving from right down the street at Lake Silver, so that's welcome to staying in the neighborhood. I'm glad you're staying in the neighborhood. Welcome, you're moving up to College Park. And I wanted to say, we haven't take a moment, probably do this later, but Dr. Diaz and Dr. Gullett, I have really enjoyed working with both of you so much. And I'm glad Anna's not leaving. Diane, I'm going to keep your cell number. I will be calling. I want to hear all about Vegas. I'm excited for both of you with your new adventures. And the two folks that are jumping into your roles, I'm really excited about too. Raheem, I've enjoyed working with you through all of this, and I'm just so excited that most of my schools in the North are in the North Learning Community, so I'll get to spend a lot of time with you over the next however many months. I'm excited about that. And Dr. Larson, not to be confused with Lawson, which is confusing. He was the assistant principal when my kids were first started at Lee Middle School back before we named it College Park Middle. And so back then he was so young, he looked like one of the students. So finally, you don't look like one of the students. And I'm just so excited for you. I'm so excited. And he's sitting right behind Sanjay, who's going to the school. And I said, Sanjay, see what you can do one day? You can. He says, I'm doing it. So you've inspired the others to follow behind you. So congratulations to you. And this is really a fun night. And like Ms. Cobert said, it's just, OCPS is just such a great family. Everyone's so loving and supportive of each other, and I thank you all for that. And it really should be about relationship. Everything we do every day should be about relationship with each other in this room, with you as the principals down to your teachers, and then the teachers to the students. And I just so thankful that you have that relationship and are here in OCPS to share it with others. So thank you.
Ms. Gould.
I too want to congratulate all those moving into new roles. It's very exciting. Anna, you will bless many more children, and thank you for continuing to serve children as you move on to new horizons. Diane, I'm so happy for your new move, and it's so exciting, but I am so sad to lose you from our close midst. But I know that this will be a tremendous opportunity, not only for you and your family, but also for the students out west. And Raheem, I will miss you and the times that we have had together. And I know that you have trained well those that follow in your shoes, you and Mr. Moody, as well as glad you're not going far and that you get to use all of your skills. It's truly amazing. And James, I'm glad you're coming back west. The community will be very happy. We welcome you back, and I look forward to working more closely with you.
Ms. Cadle.
Congratulations to all. And as everybody has said, it is so much about family. And when I'm sitting here, Raheem was principal at Lymphoma Elementary on the very first day I started 16 years ago. And I've watched him blossom and take on new roles. And when people were talking about names, those of us who have been here for a while, we remember them all. Everybody, this is a family. You all do phenomenal things each and every day. And I'm proud to say I live in this community. I'm proud to say that my children graduated from Orange County Public Schools. And I'm glad to say that Orange County Public Schools is doing something good for children each and every day. So thank you to all of you for all that you do each and every day.
Ms. Flynn.
Thank you. I, too, want to add my congratulations to everybody. When we go to conferences, Florida School Board Association, Council of Great City Schools, we hear stories, and we also realize how wonderful OCPS really is. I mean, it's easy for us sometimes to sort of pick things apart, but really, when we hear from other stories or from other groups, or when we're telling our stories, they're just amazed. And it starts with the leadership, and it starts with you all. So you're implementing all those wonderful programs and offerings that we give to our students, and so I want to thank you for that, and thank you for your compassion and your diligence and your passion. I do want to give a shout out for Anna Diaz. When my son first started University High School, I think it was 1998, there was a principal, this was University High School principal changeover. And so, you know, they had one of these love fests where they talked to the students, they talked to the teachers, they talked to the parents, and we all said, this is what we wanted. And Anna came in, and she didn't quite fit the mold. And do you remember that? And so she sat down with all of us and said, here's what I'm going to do. And sure enough, she did it. She was just a dynamite at University High School. In fact, my next door neighbor is a teacher there, and she goes, we've been wanting this road fixed, and within a week, you know, Dr. Diaz got it done. So she's always been a doer. She's always been a really passionate person and a very giving person. But that passion started, that I knew of, in 1998 has stayed constant, if not more, until now. I mean, not until now, even now. And I just want to say it's been an honor to work with you, and I appreciate your professionalism. I appreciate how you helped us get through. What did we get through? We got through the Avalon Middle School relief. That was an experience. How could I even forget that, you know? And Wedgefield. So you helped us get through that. I just want to say I appreciate it. I appreciate your friendship, and I wish you all the best.
Ms. Moore.
Congratulations to all of you. I know it's going to be an exciting year, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to work for this school district, and we appreciate everything you all do. And Dr. Diaz, we're going to miss you. I think it was just a year ago that you and I had our little salmon lunch up in Denny's and Apopka, trying to figure out all the projects and things that were going to transpire in the district. And so I know you will certainly be missed. And I'm just so excited to have you, Raheem. And I hopefully you like salmon too. So we're going to have to go have our lunch and figure out this coming year. So anyway, congratulations to all of you.
I can't resist. I'm thinking salmon at Denny's. Supposed to have pancakes there. Mrs. Gordon.
Okay, that's hard to follow. Oh my gosh. I do want to say to Dr. Jenkins, you amazed me. I thought last board meeting was a lot of administrators. There were 19, and I think there are way more than 19. They're not all here. You have 7 pages of personnel that's going somewhere. But I do want to say to all of you, those that on her personnel agenda, 7 pages for this board meeting, which is incredible. I mean, I don't know if you're just sitting at the desk and just checking them off and moving them, or you pull them out of a bowl or something, whatever. But I'll tell you, I don't know how you do it, but you're matching up. I'm saying this position and then this work location. It is amazing, and I know you have a great team that really helps you, but I do know that the final decision is up to you, so I do want to commend you on that. On your personal agenda, you have appointments of administrative and technical personnel, and I do want to commend those that's moving into the technical field and going up higher. You know, may God bless you for that. And then those new administrators that are assistant principals and principals, we look to you. Now, remember, if you fail, you make us look bad up here. That's all I have to say. I tell the area soup, if a school is failing, well, you know, aren't we to blame? That makes us look bad. So we don't think for granted that we're not watching. We are watching in our districts. I tell you, right, Dr. Lawson? We're watching. We're having a good time. Not James, but yeah, I'm talking to James. Cause not this James. It's a Larson and a Lawson. I'm having fun with him. Okay, but to the new area superintendents, you're going to do a good job. Both of you have been pretty much trained by me, so you'll be doing a good job. I have to knock on wood for that. They're going to do good for you all, ladies. Trust me, Mr. Chairman. To those that are retiring, I wish you the best. And remember, you got 1 year to get your act together and get back into OCPS and help us. Okay, but to bless you. Those that are transferring, the best to you, because sometimes that transfer means a lot. And then to those that are looking for other work, may it be Las Vegas, may it be just sailing the ocean blue, I wish you the best, and may God bless you.
So all you really have to remember is stay on the good side of Mrs. Gordon, and you'll be fine. So we have some wonderful kids in here. This is not as fun as Xbox or PlayStation. So every kid in here, stand up. Let us give you a big hand. Take a bow, kids. Take a bow. Your parents should be very proud. All of y'all have been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I always like to say to all of our newly appointed administrators that your loved ones, your colleagues should be extremely, extremely proud of you, because this appointment really signifies one singular word, and that word is trust. It means that this board and administration, we trust your leadership abilities. It means that we trust your judgment, and perhaps most importantly, it means that we trust you with the future of our community, our children. And for that, you should be very proud of yourselves, as we are proud of you this evening. Dr. Gullett, I'm going to ask you to stand. I think you're somewhere way back there in the back. And Dr. Diaz, if you could stand as well. We're all going to miss you immensely. We get to work with our area soups and executive area directors and cabinet members very closely. Dr. Gullett, you know, one thing I've always loved about working with you, and you probably don't even know I think of you this way, but you are sort of that calm pool in the storm always. And you fix things and you get them done, and you have a wonderful way with parents, with difficult situations, and you do it seamlessly and without any fuss, and that's a remarkable quality. And Clark County is lucky to get you, and Dr. Jara, I'm sure, plucked this gem from us with a lot of thought, and he's lucky to get you at his right hand. Dr. Diaz, what can I say other than passion? One thing I love about Anna is she loves kids. And she cares as much as any educator I've ever had the chance to work with. And she always tries to do the right thing by the child, and that's an incredible quality as well. So we're going to miss you both immensely. Thank you for all the service you've given us, and I know you're not going anywhere, Anna, but I look forward to seeing you. And you know, gives me an excuse to go to Vegas, Dr. Gullett, so that's always a good thing. And with that, we are going to pause, and I can say this safely. It's a summer night. Go get these wonderful kids some ice cream. Have a good evening. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get started again if we could. So allow me to make a preliminary announcement. Any individual who would like to address any item on our consent or our non-consent agenda may do so by completing a yellow speaker card. It looks like this. You can get a yellow speaker card from Ms. McGill at the far left-hand side of the dais, and when that agenda item comes up, I will call on you to speak. You will have 3 minutes to address the board at that time, and there is a timer up there that you can view from the lectern, and we would ask you to start with your name and your address, which is a legal requirement before you begin your comments, and the clock will not start until after you say your name and your address. Dr. Jenkins, do we have any changes to our agenda tonight?
We do, Chairman. We actually have 4 changes. First of all, item 5.04 was added. That is request approval for the Orange County Classroom Teachers Association contract for 2018-19 salary increases, insurance, and contract language changes for instructional employees subject to ratification. I should add President Wendy Dormal, I was actually at breakfast with this morning, and she is unable to be here due to some legal requirements meeting that she had to be in, but I told her I would let you know she was pleased that this was added to the agenda. Secondly, we will delete item 1504, request approval of contract for legal services between the School Board of Orange County, Florida, and Shannon Law Firm, PA. That will be deleted to be brought back at a later time. Thirdly, under non-consent, we are moving from item 6.02, student from the discipline matrix, initials MS, will become non-consent 1701. And then lastly, from the employee matrix 5.01, employee TC will become non-consent item 1702. That's it, Chairman.
Move the adoption of the agenda.
All right. Ms. Cadle has moved the adoption of the agenda. Is there a second to that? It's been seconded by Ms. Gould. Is there any debate or discussion of that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the agenda, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Show the agenda adopted. Dr. Jenkins, forgive me, but the second one you mentioned, was it 5.04? I was trying to follow along, but
5.01 personnel agenda goes employee TC.
No, I got those two that got on agenda item 17. Yeah, I got those two. What was right before that? Forgive me.
1504, delete. 1504.
Okay, I know what that is. All right. Thank you, Dr. Jenkins.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, 1701 was a student, right, and 1702 was the employee.
Right, there you go.
Okay. Okay. All right, and not right now, Dr. Jenkins, but you just has to be ready to tell us where to pull up those two matters when we get to them, 1701 and 1702, and if we need to refresh, as we do sometimes, to get right to them so we don't have to scroll through.
Okay.
All right, we are now on, board members, the consent agenda. We do have 2 speakers on agenda item 5.02, which is the OSPA contract. The first one is Patricia Walker. Dr. Walker, where are you? Welcome.
Excuse me. Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Patricia Walker, and my mailing address is 445 West Amelia Street, Orlando, Florida, 32801. And I'm speaking on agenda item number 5.02, the approval of the OSPA contract. I'm speaking tonight because this will be the last contract that I will be bringing to this board. I'm going to be retiring November the 30th, and I'm overexcited. I want to thank you, Dr. Jenkins, for entrusting the OSPA contract to me back in 2006 when you placed this unit in my care. It has been the greatest honor to serve OCPS in this capacity, and the rewards have been endless. I want to thank you, Dr. Williams, for an incredible support during the changes we've experienced over this past year. And I want to acknowledge my former boss, Ron Pilgrim, who started this contract with me, but was taken from all of us way too soon. Continue to rest in peace, Ron Pilgrim. I prayed that I'd be able to close my last contract before I retired. Chairman Sublette and members of the board, a 4% increase has made closing my final contract an easy lift. With your vote tonight, more than 5,000 of our waged employees will receive an increase of 50 to 59% an hour. And more than 2,500 of those employees will see a 60 cent to $1.22 increase to their hourly rate. With no increase to insurance premiums for any of our plans, our employees will see the full benefit of this raise. They came to the table ready to sign. I want to acknowledge the president of OSPA, Ron Pollard. You rock. Your passion for your members, our employees, is to be highly commended. There have been many times that we have vehemently disagreed, but you always were willing to come back to the table to talk through our opposing positions, and were willing to keep talking until we could both reach an agreement we could live with. You are committed to collaborating for the greater good, and I salute you for that. To my counterparts and fellow negotiators on the OSPA side, Ken Pratt started with this contract with us, but he has since gone into private practice. Melissa Pfeiffer Herman is on a much-needed and well-deserved vacation, but Tamika Hampton is here, and you are great. You, like Ron, have shown your commitment to working through disagreements collaboratively for the greater good. Thank you. And I must ask the entire OSPA CBLT to please stand. They're all over the place, and they've hung in here to the bitter end. These are the guys who get it done. They get it done, and this is not their primary job. They do this in addition to their benefited positions. You guys are amazing. And finally, I want to acknowledge my wonderful husband, who has mastered the art of warming dinner and eating supper alone. I am coming home soon, sweetie. July 25th, we fully expect the OSPA contract will ratify with an overwhelming yes. And on August the 15th, the new money will begin showing up in the paychecks of 8,248 hardworking classified employees. My 32 years here with OCPS have been more than just a job. It has been an incredible career, and I want to say thank you.
I guess it's me, Ron Pollard, 1869 Emerald Cove Boulevard, Apopka, Florida. As the only authorized spokesperson for ESPA, I'd like to say to Chairman Sublette, Superintendent Jenkins, school board, whole staff, who are our employers. We want to thank y'all for a most gracious offer. I'd also like to recognize my team, all of in their job families, they represent it well. But I can't just recognize my team. Ken Pratt is not here, Melissa's not here, but I have Tamika there. I can't recognize my team without recognizing the entire team. The district's team also, and Ron Pilgrim, who we sorely miss. I look forward to working continuously with this group to continue on this path to dignity that we started on for our classified employees. What I wanted to say is I wanted to thank y'all for recognizing that our classified employees are dedicated to the success and the safety of our students here in Orange County. It's a team effort, and we recognize that you have recognized us as a part of the team, so we want to thank you. Ms. Gordon, you were talking about books. I got to put a plug in there. You know, OSPA has recognized themselves as a community partner. We partner with several schools, Lake Western Elementary, Union Park Elementary, Phyllis Wheatley Elementary, to give books through our union, American Federation of Teachers, to give free books. They have a First Books program. And I heard y'all, and I heard you. You say give them good books. So we gave them brand new books. You sure did. Gave them brand new books. So, in all that, I just want to say thank you all for what y'all done for us. We're going to continue this collaborative bargaining effort. I got to recognize, and I don't want to get emotional either, my counterpart, Ms. Walker. She made me learn how to collaborative bargain. I came in here as a new president 3 years ago, 2016, thinking that you just barge in, say what you want, they say what you want, y'all argue it out, blah, 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 and that's how it worked. But she made me understand that, no, you don't always get it that way, but we respect each other. So I think we can say we've kept to the code of civility, even though sometimes we've had to kind of agree to shake it off. I'm going to sorely miss her. Going to sorely miss her. But in all of it, I think we're all in a better place. So I give my time up right now. I give it up right now. Thank y'all.
Mrs. Gordon?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Now that's collaborative bargaining. That is what the board has been begging for. You all have really set the pace, OSPA, and the leaders of the OCPS bargaining team. And I want to say, I just say, Lady Patricia, I'm telling you, and Gentleman Pollard, you all have really been that. We've given you a little trouble, a heck of a lot of trouble, because we wanted you to get to that point. And your team actually did get there, but I love what Mrs. Walker said. You disagreed, but you came back. We really disagreed, but you came back. And I love that, because that's what the bargaining collaborative process is all about. You don't always get what you want when you want it. But I would be remiss if I did not bring up Emma Brown. I would be remiss, because if you don't know your history, you don't know where you came from. How we honored our classified employees under the leadership of dynamic teachers in the Classroom Teachers Association. We all got together and we saw that our classified teachers, our classified employees were not being taken care of properly. And we formed the organization right in Orange Center Elementary. And the first president was Novice Blaine. She retired. She worked at Orange Center for many years. And then she moved on over to Dr. Janice Choice, and she retired, unless she's still working. Novice Blaine worked at Pine Lock. She was your first president. We trained her, and we trained her well. It started there because we saw a concern of classified personnel in the entire district. And then when Novice decided to not continue because it wasn't easy, and she didn't want to bother with it because it just wasn't easy, Pearl Price picked it up. And Pearl Price was a paraprofessional. This is your history. That's how it started, with caring teachers, and they brought it to the board. And then we went through the process of getting the union with so many of your retired educators. that's very active in CTA, retired today, that saw fit that we have OSPA. I want to commend you for your steadfastness. I really want to commend Ms. Patricia Walker for your hard time. Yeah, many nights you went out this door and we passed each other. I would be coming in, and I mean, you would stay all night long. You go out and come back, and we leave out together sometime. And it was late at night, so now your husband, please raise your hand, Mr. Walker. There you are. You don't have her back. You know she won't give this up. All right, but I want you all to know how much I really appreciate you, Ron, as the leader. You are truly a gentleman. And Patricia, I do want to say I have to respect and love you. We didn't always see eye to eye, but you did your job and you did it well. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Ms. Cadle. Ms. Cadle.
Ron, thank you. As you know, I've chaired the budget committee for a few years, and you always would come to the table fighting for your employees, saying, you know, we need to pay them more, we need to do what's right for them. And when the superintendent said we can offer 4%, I'm sure my mouth dropped. And I was so excited because yeah, you too. For years, our employees had gone back to work not knowing what their increase was going to be. For years, sometimes we'd get to May before you were getting paid for what you should have had back at the beginning of July. So it has been my honor and my pleasure to watch you grow in your role. And he's even run a couple of meetings for me. He was the vice chair, and he did a phenomenal job doing it. And I know that you care about each and every one of your employees. Patricia, thanks for everything you have done for all of these years. And we all were in Tampa, was it just last week? It seems like it was a long time ago. And I talked to Bill Graham, who is the head of FEN, the Florida Education's Network, and I said, oh yeah, we're offering 4%. And his head went back and he said, what? And I said, oh yeah, we have robbed every penny we have to give it to our employees. And he said, there is no district in this state that is considering a raise like you are offering your employees. So I'm just proud to be a member of this board. I am proud of the leadership team who looked and figured out where can we get those pennies and nickels and dimes and dollars and quarters to make sure we can take care of our teachers and our OSPA people. So thank you.
Ms. Flynn.
Thank you. I just want to congratulate you all and just say job well done. Well done, Mr. Pollard. Thank you so much. And Patricia Walker, you're the bomb. Thank you. I'm going to miss you. And you've been a friend. You've been a good friend to me. So thank you so much.
Well, let me echo that. I wish we had Ms. Dormal. I hope you're listening to this. I just want to say thank you for your leadership on the CTA contract. I don't know if we have any CTA reps in here tonight, but so pleased that we were able to deliver a 4% raise for our teachers. Dr. Jenkins, I'm beginning to hate coming to these meetings this month because we're losing all these people I love and love to work with. And Ms. Walker, you are going to be right at the top of that list. You have a wonderful way about you. I know Mr. Pollard knows this, but really the negotiating team has been so fortunate, and this board has been so fortunate to have you at the helm and leading our negotiations, and your team leading our negotiations with OSPA. And Mr. Pollard, you know, it should be us thanking you, not you thanking us, because I'm confident I speak for our entire board when I say that every contract that's rolled around, all 8 of us feel very, very, very strongly that we need to pay our OSPA personnel more. we are a team, and our kids are safe, they're well fed, they get to school safely, they're protected in the schools, our families are made welcome because of your folks. So you and Ms. Hampton should be very, very proud of the work you all do. And I want to thank Dr. Jenkins. This board has made it a priority to raise the wages of our OSPA personnel, and she's found a way to do it, and Mr. Kelly has found a way to do it. But it's well-deserved. I was sitting up here thinking, we don't have a bring your bus driver a present day or bring your cafeteria worker a gift day, and perhaps we should, because y'all are so important to what happens in our schools. So thank you for everything that you do, and congratulations. And I hope your team is very pleased with you, because one thing that always has struck me about Ron Pollard is, I think you all would agree, you always want to help people that you like, and that, and that you would be ashamed if you didn't do all you could for them. And that's a wonderful quality, Ron, and you have that as a leader, and your folks should be very proud of you for that. So, do we have any other comments on the contracts? And again, Ms. Dormal, I wish you were here so we could recognize you. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. Before we adopt the consent agenda. Yes, Dr. Jenkins.
I apologize. I would like to note, in case there are administrators worried about their raises, the adjustment of our administrative salary schedules, which is actually 503, takes care of our administrators. There is no collective bargaining agreement to be approved by the board, but the adjustment, I want to make sure the board and our administrators know, administrative and technical staff understand that their 4% increase is included tonight as well.
Very good. Thank you. Dr. Jenkins, before we entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda, I want to thank you for doing something that probably flew under the radar with a lot of folks, but and I hope I'm not mistaken about this, because I didn't check with you ahead of time like I try to usually, but we had a very eloquent speaker who came to us 5 or 6 times putting forth the argument that we needed more low-cost, low-load, no-fee options for our retirement plans. And I don't know if you all have noticed, but Dr. Jenkins always delivers, and she told me we were addressing it. And if you look at agenda item 12.03, because it bothered me, and you may know it bothered me because I kept bringing it up like a pit bull. But now we have some of those very low load or no load investment options for our employees. And I want to thank you for that, because I was digging through the agenda before I came tonight and saw that in there. So thank you for making that happen. So with that, can we entertain, and by the way, if I could ask a favor, Ms. McGill, I can't remember the name of that speaker who always comes before us, but if someone could track down the name and let him know that we did adopt that. Okay, or Mr. Kelly. All right, can we have a motion to adopt the consent agenda? It's been moved by Vice Chair Covert and Ms. Flynn, seconded by Mrs. Robinson and Mrs. Gordon. Is there any debate or discussion of that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Show it adopted unanimously. Congratulations, guys. All right. With all the celebrations, I totally skipped over. Mr. Rodriguez is such a gentleman. He shoots me a quiet text to say, hey, we just passed over all the board policies. So we're going to back up to agenda item 3.01 through 3.06. These are the adoption of board policies. Let me turn it over to you, Dr. Jenkins.
Thank you, Chairman. On May 21st, these items came to Cabinet. On May 23rd, they were sent, CTA was sent notification. They were published on May 27th. There was a work session for 2 of them, ECE and EFAB, on May 31st, and then an additional Cabinet meeting for those adjustments for those same 2 on June 4th. Rule development for all of these policies took place on June 19th, and we are now at the school board meeting where we will have our final approval. That is for item 3.01 through 3.06. Those are policies ECE, ECG, EFAB, GCC, GDC, and IJOA. Traffic and parking procedures, district police, food allergies, professional staff leaves and absences, support staff leaves and absences, and school trips and excursions. Chairman?
Is there any member of the public who has come to provide us with comment or testimony with regard to agenda items 3.01 through 3.06? Don't have any speaker cards. I always like to say, because a lot of folks do watch a live stream of this, that if it seems like there are no questions or comments about these board policies, which are the equivalent of our ordinances or laws, it's because, as you heard from the superintendent, by the time they get to us, we've pretty exhaustively vetted them and had our questions answered in rule development workshops. Mr. Rodriguez, can we entertain one motion en banc to take all of these up? Or in
May,
total?
Mr. Chair, yes.
Okay, can I entertain a motion then to adopt agenda items? Okay, it's been moved by Mrs. Robinson to adopt wholesale agenda items 3.01 through 3.06. Is there a second to that motion? Second. It's been seconded by Ms. Gould. Is there any debate or discussion of that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Show the policies adopted unanimously. And I also feel like I should say, because folks do watch us, none of these are, I don't believe, no, I know they're not. One of them is. 5 of the 6 are old policies that we merely made revisions to, and there's only one new one in there. All right, which I think is traffic and parking procedures. The others are all building on past policies. We are now, board members, on the 2 items that were removed from consent, the student matter and the employee matter. I believe the student matter is the first one up in agenda item 17.01. So let me sort of give the lay of the land here so our speakers can know how we go about it when we deal with employee matters and student matters. First of all of our board meetings are videotaped or live streamed on Orange TV in their entirety, with the exception of student discipline and employee matters. So in keeping with school board policy, these 2 agenda items, 17.01 and 17.02, will not be included with the broadcast version of this board meeting for purposes of protecting the privacy of that employee or that student. The way I like to work these portions of our meeting is the superintendent and her staff will first present. District General Counsel's report. Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the only report really is we had a little bit of an update on the House Bill 7069 matter, in which we had petitioned the District Court of Appeals to bypass their jurisdiction and go straight to the Supreme Court. That decision was denied. It was expected, but we still felt it was necessary to seek that request. The good news is that the fee that we've negotiated with the appellate law firm doesn't change, whether we appeal one court or both. So they are preparing briefs and so forth, and should have something filed hopefully by the next time we get together in July. And that's really it. We are preparing for our legal training 105 this summer, 3rd week in July. So our team is working very diligent on that, including some components about safety to instruct our principals and assistant principals and how to deal with some of the new aspects of the law. So we look forward to that.
By the way, I love that we do that. I want to give you kudos, and the superintendent. I hear from principals, not very often, but on occasion, how much they appreciate that legal training. I think it's invaluable. All right, superintendent's report. Dr. Jenkins.
Nothing further, Chairman.
All right. Board members, Legislative Committee, Ms. Flynn.
Thank you. We had a legislative committee meeting today, and what we did was review last year's platform statements just for the state, and we went through and revised because all but one still very pertinent to our fight for stronger public education, and so they will be redlined and sent to all the school board members for their review. If you have any other comments that you'd like to make on them, please send them to me or to Eileen Fernandez. And then we're going to have one more committee meeting to review it. They'll probably come to us for a vote what did we say, August? That first meeting in August. And we'll give our draft platform to FSBA so that they can see the direction that we're heading. I don't believe that it requires us having a work session because we'll all have the chance to review them, and it's really a rearticulation of what we did last year. And then we will take up the platform for federal legislation later on, after school starts, maybe at this next committee meeting.
All right, excellent. Mrs. Gordon, I know you had 3 reports
Yes.
that you filed with us. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm going to try to do these quickly. I recently obtained the following information that Nancy placed into the board doc for each of you. In that section, I really want you to go through it. It's on the iReady, and it was at the FSBA conference, which was very, very beneficial. There's a website. I think that everybody, I don't know how much you realize that our data comes from iReady. And everybody never have gone in. I challenge you to go in and just sit with the child for 10 minutes with iReady and then observe the others around. And you'll see that most of it is not being operated correctly. Okay? And when I say not being operated correctly, because it's awfully hard to let a child just do iReady by themselves. You're not going to get the best results. And I had the opportunity to meet and speak with the iReady director, and some of you did too, at FSBA, and she gave me a lot of stuff. You know, how the tools are changing, and it can help every student succeed if we accurately measure that student's ability. And she showed us that if you give them the right instruction, that it would boost their proficiency level. Board members, as I stated earlier, and I was cutting the fool with Dr. James Lawson and Dr. James Larson, I'm not kidding. If our kids fail, how could you say you the area superintendent? How could we say I'm the board member? We all jump up when we make A's, but how many of us actually go in and try to make a difference on December, at least by November? Go into the superintendent and say, my school is not doing well. Dr. Jenkins, what can I do? That's what I used to do. And then I'm not doing that like I used to do. And then we don't even get the reports like we used to get in December to know that our schools are not doing well. I don't want another person to call me in May or June and tell me that my schools are failing and that they didn't do well. I ought to know that back in November, because the best time for these students to learn is August. Kick it off in a high blast and go through September, October, and you could just hang it up when they go home for turkey. So, I mean, and then there's Christmas, and then you got the Martin Luther, and then here comes testing. So when have they learned? Guys, we have got to do better. If you are out there, you're a board member, you're an administrator, and your schools are failing, that's us. Any of us have failing schools in our district, it's on me. But I know I'm going to stay in Dr. Jenkins' office this year. And whoever you've assigned to me, I'm not going to bother you. I'm going into Dr. Jenkins, but I need a report on my desk by November. Because if my kids are not succeeding, I got to find out what to do. And I'm already out there trying to do something now. So the report that I put on, you want to look at page 7, and you want to look at all of it in the iReady. So that's the iReady. That's not all of us, but that's how we should be doing and what others are doing. Several of the board members had an opportunity to attend the following forum. I think it was just Miss Pam Gould and myself. We went to Minga, and she might want to add something, and I won't take that away from her because she pretty much was the expert at the table that we had, and I was very proud of her and what we did, but I was very impressed. I was very proud of you. You had to deal with me, so if you can get to me, you're good, okay? But the Minga Forum on Education was just awesome, and they have asked that we get Dr. Kathy Schuler and a couple of others of your administrator, Dr. Jenkins, to please work with them. And they gave us this sheet that Nancy placed in your board doc, the Minga Forum on Education, the Cradle to Career. And what shocked everybody there, they said, did you know there is 40% teacher turnover in early childhood? And did you know that a child from a low-income family hears 30 million fewer words by age 4? So y'all ought to be out here trying to help me and my district and give y'all, everybody in this room have a degree of some kind, mostly. And if you already know these words, if you give it, I went to Orange Center I think it was last week, and they did a meet and greet. It was remarkable what that principal did, Miss Johnson. I said, Miss Johnson, Mr. Johnson used to be principal here, but look what you've done. She took them around the world and gave them so many words, and it was all about her. So now those kids going to know her. Those parents were in there. They're going to know her. But guys, the reason why our kids are not getting it, they don't know the words. They don't know the vocabulary. So I'm sure that Ms. Gould would like to comment on that one. And then the last report that most of us were there, we attended the following conference, which was FSBA's summer conference in Tampa, Florida. And that was a great conference. And I brought back books that I love for every one of my principals. It just, even my principal in Osceola, I gave her one. The speaker was just incredible of ideas that, number one, you're not going to gain much if you don't have any parents involved. If you look back and there's no parents following you, something's wrong with you. Because that's who's going to help you and make you succeed. All of the schools where we had the parents, it was a lot. So the FSBA summer conference report is in there for you to go through if you did not attend. Thank you so very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mrs. Gordon. Ms. Gould.
And I know you're tired.
Thank you, Mrs. Gordon, for bringing up the Early Education Forum. The Early Education Forum was put together through our foundation folks, some of our team, Community SEAL, the Central Florida Foundation, and the Early Childhood Coalition. And it was really a marvelous group of kind of think tank style. We each had a problem and we wanted to solve. And the report should be really interesting, and we'll make sure that we share that, because Mrs. Gordon and I will get that report and we'll share that out at the end. But look for more of these kinds of forums. And the point was Community SEAL wanted to build advocacy around early childhood education so that they can help us prepare kids better for school. And I think that forum went a long way in really stimulating that conversation.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thank both you all for your leadership on these issues and for the reports. All right, we're on agenda item 20 or 21. Any discussion items? You know, I'm going to push my button. I know we're tired, so I'll make this a 60-second speech. I think one thing that bothered me about that video, Dr. Jenkins, is, and I've been beating this drum for 8 years, I just hear more and more from teachers that they feel like, and I don't want to go too far, but I do hear that they feel like schools seem to be more indisciplined than they were 4 or 5 years ago. And I just really want to encourage the administration. I don't think there's any silver bullet solution, but one of the solutions I've often advocated, and I know we've expanded it, is in-school suspension. Not out-of-school suspension, in-school suspension. And you've done it, and I want to thank you for that. But more and more and more, I just feel like, you know, we just have got to have, you know, in my little perfect world, a portable or something set at the back of the campus where that kid doesn't get out of school suspension, because I think that defeats the whole purpose. I've never understood, 20 years of dealing with education policy, I've never understood the logic behind out of school suspension, and I never will. But that kid needs to have to come to school, be put in a portable at the back of the property, and do schoolwork all day and not participate in extracurriculars before going home. Because I just feel like there's got to be an option for teachers who are feeling disrespected or for kids who are not complying with board policies or district policies. It's not fair to you because we have expanded in school suspension. I want to acknowledge that. But I just think the more we can do on that, the better for our employees and for our parents and for the students themselves. Ms. Cadle?
You know, I don't want to debate it, but there is such unrest in the community that I think some of it is just filtering in to the schools because nobody respects anybody. I mean, it's, and you've heard me say this before, I blame cable news network for a lot of it because you have to constantly feed that, but there is such disrespect that I'm not quite sure how, and it's one of the things that maybe the superintendent's advisory committee can work on, and Dr. Border had youth leaders this summer, and how do I think they talked about it is how do you build that respect? How do you build that camaraderie? And it goes both ways. It's teacher to student, it's student to teacher, it's teacher to teacher, it's student to student. And so it's many times when people come to talk to us and they believe in their heart they're correct and you don't go with them, they think you didn't listen. Huh? Or so, yeah, and usually, I try to tell people it's not personal. I just have to look at what I see the facts are. And so I think I hear you say that teachers say that they feel like, the children are more unruly and there's, I just think right now we're in a point where no one gives anyone a break. It's like, everybody's ready to fight. And to be honest, I'm pretty exhausted by it. I'm like, I just want to have a little cocoon where I'm happy. It's just a happy time. So,
build a wall.
Huh?
Build a wall.
Yeah, no, that's not working.
Ms. Cobert?
I just want to tell you that I agree with what I've been hearing, concerns about discipline, but I also want to remind the board, our presentation tonight from Mary Bridges, I think is going to go a long way toward helping with the discipline problem, adding what I counted over 40 personnel in the mental health area, 12 mental health social workers, 9 psychologists, 9 social workers, 5 mental health partners. I mean, I think that's going to go a long way toward helping our schools and our teachers manage this, which I believe the disciplinary problems are heightened, but I think that's going to go a long way toward remedying the problem.
Mrs. Gordon? Ms. Gould?
My first year on the board, one of the things that I asked if we could do was ask students to help be accountable in their school. And what I meant by that is when I came back from Japan was, can we have a day where they help clean up their desks, their classrooms, their lockers, because part of it is that personal engagement and accountability. It's not just about the discipline piece. It really truly is. And so many of the kids really want to do things like that the kids that don't, I think, would get some peer pressure from the ones that do, because they will pick up trash off their campus when asked. But there's not the expectation or the culture right now that says if you see a piece of trash, you pick it up. We don't have that mutual accountability culture. that we could build. And they're the ones that want to save the planet. Start in your school. I mean, it doesn't have to be about, everybody's going to pick up the trash, or it's going to be about, we want to make sure we capture all the garbage in the recycle so it gets in the right place instead of going into our lakes, instead of getting washed away into the sewer system, instead of burdening the janitor that you really like. And I just think that some of that community village aspect, which would also connect those kids, if we could bring some of that back, that would help in some of these discipline and connection areas, mental health, citizenship, all these things that people complain about our kids don't do, but they'll leave the campus and do them somewhere else.
Ms. Moore?
I just want to reiterate what you just said, and I don't know if the curriculum that that Mary Bridges was talking to us about may have opportunities for lessons like that, and so surely that this is an issue that we've not created, that's really inherent in our culture, and so I think we have to be more purposeful. So I was going to ask Dr. Jenkins, perhaps you have already thought about this, and Mary has thought about that in that curriculum, and maybe you could just get back with us so that we'd be more aware of those lessons that you think would address that we're all mentioning tonight.
All right. Meeting, I didn't even hand out the work session schedule. We have a July 19th one coming up. I think that might be an executive session, if I'm not mistaken. It is, Dr. Jenkins. Okay. It's an executive session on school safety.
And our next school board meeting is
31st of July. Be still, my heart. All right. Everybody have a nice summer break, and we are adjourned.
You said
You guys
July.
want to grab a drink
Bill, you
tonight?
said July 1.
Or is it too late?
You said July 1.
31st.